Aaron Okonkwo, a Nigerian scientist, travels with a crew in the 24th century to evaluate Viridis, which proves to be a beautiful and fabulous world. There, Aaron discovers a strange alien species and amazing machines and technology left in a vast underground complex by a mysterious race called the Creators. Aaron soon falls under the irresistible, seductive spell of Night Song, a green alien female with ominous and bewitching powers. However, an even greater danger arises. He will be forced to fight for the planet's survival against a ruthless invasion by a fleet of ships seeking to conquer and enslave the planet just as Africa itself was once enslaved. Aaron knows it's a senseless act of beauty to try and reclaim his ancient warrior heritage and fight back against such overwhelming odds, but he also knows he must try. A Senseless Act of Beauty by John Rosenman is a sci-fi, sort of a colonization sci-fi piece. It talks about Aaron Okonkwo, who is a botanist, a xenobotanist and whatnot. He goes to the planet Viridis with a group of other people who are trying to assess it for its colonization potential. And so he's learning about this planet and the native species there, the Viridians, and he basically falls under the spell of one of the females there and learns all sorts of interesting things about the world itself, about their culture and, their culture and sort of their biology, their way of being, and he has to figure out how to tie that in with his past and to come to grips with his past and his people's past, with Africa and sort of what is right and what should happen versus what is going to happen and all of the fascinating things that go along with that. There's a lot that goes into this book because you have to understand we've got the sort of colonial history of Africa and its people, as well as the aftermath and what the perception is of that. And then we have a people who are basically defenseless from being colonized, and it's kind of, you see a lot of the parallels there, but it's not the same thing because we have this knowledge going into the situation, how to change things, how to adapt, what is right, what is wrong, what should be, what could be, that sort of a thing. And it's fascinating. It's quite fascinating. I mean, okay. First off, you get the science piece, because this is an alien species. They have a completely different biology. They have a completely different set of genetic necessities, and so Aaron gets caught up in that, as well as the fact that he is also dealing with such things as coming to grips with his own personal past as well as the past of his people. So you see a lot of overlap there between those three different things: the present, personal past, and distant past. And then you get into the alien nature of the Viridians and how, as a human with certain moral expectations and certain historical implications, can come to grips with what is essentially an extremely different biological society. And that is also very interesting. So yeah, there's a lot that goes into this book, and it was very well woven together. Each individual piece seemed significant at the at the point in which you read it, but it was also significant both earlier and later on, because everything was woven together, and so you see things coming up again and again that are significant, and you see events that point back to past events, that point to future events that are wildly magnificent in their implications, and it's really fascinating to see how this story is woven and put together. Not to mention that it's a colonization sci-fi, and I haven't read very many of those recently, and I like them. I think they're fascinating and they're fun and they're very interesting because the implications that you can get from that are widespread and very deep. As far as the characters go, Aaron is a pretty good main character to follow. He has his own set of values and beliefs and sort of personal strength, and you see him change and grow over the course of the novel, but not in a way that would compromise him, even though he's kind of faced with seriously overwhelming situations, and I like that. His sort of fellow companion on this planet, Abe, he's harder to pin down, partly because of the changes that he goes through both physically and mentally, but he just, as a character, seems harder to pin down, and I know that this is done deliberately, but I want to know a little bit more about him and his past and all of that. But on the whole, I like him too. The other characters, the Viridians, they are really well done. You can relate to them, but they're also alien enough that it's really hard to sort of grasp what is necessary and vital for them. And it's very interesting trying to, you know, put human ideas onto a different society, a different species, and realizing that it doesn't fit. It says sort of, but not completely, and that's very nice. Yes, I would love to go into depth on the plot of this, but I can't because spoilers. I can definitely tell you though that it is a very good book. It is fascinating and intricate, and everything flows together, and the philosophical and moral implications of what is discussed are wow. Oh, I love it when authors aren't afraid to kind of go deep into something that is frightening for a lot of people. People don't like to push too hard on some of these issues, and when they do, it doesn't always end well. This one was done well, I think, and I liked it a lot. Yeah. Well, that's all I've got for you today. If you are interested in this book, as usual, it is in the link in the description box below. I will also link my interview I did with the author there. And my links are also there too. I'm still waiting on this one, the third book, for that to actually show up in the post. But it is available if you are interested. I feel like there's news that I forgot to share, but I don't remember what it is. So I shall just say have a fantastic day, and don't cause too much trouble. I shall see you next time. Bye.